Greetings and welcome to Let's Play my comment box. Anyways, I got some comments on my latest thingy QnA. I have the feeling this is way too low. One question: is this okay, or let me change this? Is this better? I don't know. Are you hearing my PC ventilator? Oh, I don't know. Let's do this like this again, because I kind of wanted to test this out with these settings, because I have the feeling that it is kind of low. Oh well. I wanted to reply to all of these comments I got on the first video. I got more comments there in the second. Makes sense. It's longer. So yeah. That's sweet of you to put my question on there. Raven Loftable. Well, of course. I mean, you asked me a question. I asked for questions and I promised you answers. Congratulations on 1k subscribers. Your fan base is growing. Healthy Case Hobo. Thank you. Yes, it is growing. I am kind of happy that it is growing because, yeah, like I always mentioned, I have the feeling I think I can safely say I am the Let's Player with the worst subscriber to video ratio ever. I don't think there's another Let's Player with 3k videos and only 1k subs. Anyways. That's a problem with YouTube comments. They are like the newest first. You can't order them. It's kind of pissing me off. I got a GeForce 8000 GT if you need that. Oh, thank you, but I don't take offerings. And I don't like sauerkraut. Shudders. But I like Blutwurst. Don't tell them all Germans like sauerkraut. Nostalgia LP. Well, that's the problem. Some people have the problem with stereotyping. I don't know why. If someone says, oh, you're German, you must like sauerkraut, I would be like, yeah, I do. So? I don't know. Of course not all Germans like sauerkraut, only some of them, or most of them I could say, but yeah, not every German loves sauerkraut. Keep your current mic, go buy some food, games and anything else that's not a mic. If you need a better graphics card, go to newegg.com. Morak dice. I have to, let me combine this with the next comment. Yeah, the mic is working as it should, perfectly fine. I would rather have a well-fed and happy Elanarae than a sad panda Elanarae, Mr. Yaratubo. Guys, I do earn quite some money, so paying $70 for a microphone isn't going to put me, oh, I have to eat ramen for the next months, because ramen only costs 50 cents or something. No, this wasn't a huge dent in my bank account, I can safely say that. I talked with Liberty tonight about this because he asked the question, and I was always unhappy with my microphone. It really pissed me off. I had a, in my opinion, very bad quality, especially at the beginning. And it's kind of like, most peer I watch have a very good sound quality, like Das Helmet, he has an awesome sound quality, Kikoski has a good sound quality, Over the Gun has a good sound quality. I highly doubt I would watch a Let's Player that has a very bad sound quality. I would watch myself, the sound quality wasn't that bad, but still, it was kind of like, yeah. Anyways, this is again one of these kind of scrambling, but anyways. Well, enjoy your GOG and your golden oldie CRPGs. I don't need to buy games from GOG as I have them all after 30 years of collecting. In the late 80s, early 90s, gaming was a hobby, not a pastime. And of course the games came in big boxes with 100-page plus manuals, and usually a map and plastic bag with invisible fluff in it. For me, a real CRPG is one that uses attributes and stats to create a game world and character to inhabit that world and interact in it, like Vampire Bloodlines, Hard War UK. I have no idea what the first part is supposed to say or something. I mean, good, you have all the old games. Woo! When I got into gaming, I was 4. I was born 1983, so in your late 80s, early 90s, I didn't have the cash to buy all these old games. I got them later. I have the Wizardry archives with its Wizardry 1 to 5. I bought that, and I bought the Gold Box games, Pool of Radiance, Pool of Darkness, Curse of the Surbons, together with Afterworld 1, 2, 3, Menzoberranzan, Hillsfar, and so on. So I have quite the original games too, so... But GOG offers me... First of all, it offers me them again, because they may still be in some box somewhere, and I don't feel like, oh, I want to make an LP, oh, I have to search through my whole room again. And perhaps I lost a manual, so I can't play them anymore because of some copy protection shit. I don't know what the first part is supposed to express, because this is kind of like boasting. Oh, I've been collecting. I'm an old person. I've been collecting since a long time. That's good for you. Fine. I don't really care. Of course, games in the earlier days came out with huge manuals and stuff, mostly because they were more complicated. I remember seeing the Civilization manual and I was like, whoa, this is a complicated game, and I looked forward playing it. Ich nehme gerade auf. Just 1 second. Anyways. For me, a real CRPG is one that uses attributes and stats to create a game world and character to inhabit that world and interact in it. Yeah, that's what I said with World of Warcraft. I honestly don't see the point in hugely role-playing in a solo video game. I'm sorry. I saw some Oblivion boards where they were like, oh, every time I go to bed I remove all the armor from my character because my character wouldn't wear armor while sleeping and stuff. Fine, if people want to play like this is totally fine with me. I don't really give a fuck. I don't need to go and speak to an NPC like in an old medieval language. I make a character and I say, okay, this is going to be a good character, so I'm choosing the good options to get through the main storyline. I don't go, oh, I have the feeling I need to go to the grocery now because my character is hungry even though there's no hunger bar. I don't see the point in that. I'm sorry. Like I said, for me, role-playing is with other people, not with bits and bytes, and I think I mentioned this here. Yeah, I don't know. You have your open world, but you are still in this little cage that the developers offer you. It's like with Oblivion. I cannot marry someone in Oblivion. But what is up with that? Why can't I marry someone? Of course, you can marry someone in Fable, but Fable is a huge pile of shit. But I can buy a house in Oblivion. What does it do? Nothing. I don't need a house to live in Oblivion. If I don't have a house in real life, I'm pretty fucked. For me, role-playing is about having a good storyline, which somebody tells me. I don't need to talk to people all the freaking time. I don't talk to people in real life that much if I don't know them. I don't go up to a stranger, hello, can you tell me the newest rumors? No, I don't do that. That's why I don't do it in role-playing games. I think it's not my type of game. You also have to understand with what games I grew up with. I grew up with Dungeon Master, Eye of the Beholder, Might and Magic, and the Wizardry games. There was not a huge conversation tree in all of them. I never played Ultima because I didn't get it. And not I didn't get it like mentally, I did not buy it. The first Ultima I played was Ultima 8 Pagan. And you can imagine why I didn't care for the series if I start with Ultima 8. I hope you do. And I got Ultima Underworld, which the first game wasn't really an Ultima game as far as I know. They kind of shifted the production from, they wanted to make a different game and then, why would we make an Ultima game? As far as I know. It had a lot of conversation in them too, but it wasn't that huge amount. It was okay for me. I watched Kikoskia's Ultima LPs and I was like, I wouldn't enjoy this game. The combat is horrible, you just press the C button and see what happens. This is not an RPG for me. I mean, there are no stats per se, but you can't increase your character in any way, shape or form. I don't know. Anyways, carrying on. I think your mic is fine, so better buy more GOG games. Concido 2, thanks. The funny thing is now people tell me I don't need a new mic. Anyways, I got it now. I'm trying it out, I like it so far. Hope the quality is halfway decent. Your mic seems fine. For me the grief most of the time is too dark graphics, too quiet game sounds or too quiet commentary. Not the mic per se, Hardware UK. I saw Let's Player and he had all the time in the background this sound. And ever heard of the brown noise? There is some, as far as I know, I don't know if it's an urban myth, but there is a sound that has a frequency that's the same as your colon. So I really felt my ass like exploding when I listened to this Let's Player, and yeah, not that nice. Thanks for answering my question so fully. So are you reliving your childhood? And if combat is preferred over quests, NPC conversations, all the other parts of RPGs, are you really an RPG fan? I must admit I feel quite differently about you now. Although I wonder if your attitude would change if you had a decent graphic card and could play some of these more modern RPGs. Okay. Yes, I'm reliving my childhood, mostly. I didn't say combat is preferred, I said the strategic part of the combat is preferred. For example, I hate the Oblivion combat. It's a huge pile of shit. You just hit the shoulder button and he swings your sword. There is too much player skill involved in that kind of combat. I prefer the strategic things, like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale 2, not 1. And Bard's Tale or something, where the numbers, and that's, I'm so unhappy that he closed his account, but there was some YouTuber who made a very good claim about that, and he showed Fallout 3 and you had only a 80% chance to hit someone, and he hit all the time, and he said that's player skill, because he aimed manually with the gun and hit these people, but with the VAT system he could have missed. And that's not what a good RPG is, for me. A good RPG is, for me, round-based combat, like tabletop games. I don't run around in a tabletop game and fight with someone in the kitchen to determine if combat goes well or not. NPC conversations preferred over quests. I said side quests, because honestly, it depends on the side quest, of course. I said it. I mentioned it in the comments. Oblivion had very awesome side quests. They were enjoyable. The Dark Brotherhood quest, the Thief quest, the Warrior quest not that much. The Mage quest was okay. The main storyline sucked balls. Really huge balls. But if the main storyline is very good and engaging, I don't need these side quests. That's the thing. It always depends on how good the main storyline is. I didn't felt like in Baldur's Gate, I have to search for more quests because I found the main storyline good enough. Perhaps for a second playthrough I will do these side quests, but for the main playthrough I kind of stick to the main storyline as long as it's engaging. NPC conversations or the other parts of RPGs. Are you really an RPG fan? Like I said, the problem with RPG is this is no set genre per se, because everyone has a different feeling what an RPG is. People say Diablo is an action RPG. What is RPG in Diablo just because you have stats? I don't think so. Is having a huge conversations all the time with NPCs an RPG? Well, they have visual novels who do that better. What is an RPG for you? I don't know. For me, an RPG is about exploring a game world, going through dungeons, caves, castles, fighting baddies, sneaking past them. I usually play a thief character if I have a single person game. Like, I prefer the party-based games because then you can put more into creating the party, making a well-balanced party, stuff like that. I prefer party-based RPGs over single-person RPGs, but I'm usually playing a thief character, and I like exploring, and that's what I like in RPGs. I kind of like storylines, not NPC conversation. There's a huge difference for me. There's a huge difference between, oh, I have to talk with this person now and ask him about all the rumors he had, and perhaps he tells me something interesting. That's not interesting for me. I prefer the Eye of the Beholder approach, or at least Eye of the Beholder 2, where Kelvin sometimes appears and there was some storyline, and oh, there's a huge army of skeletons, oh no, you have to fight them, and stuff like that. That's for me important, and not because most of the time the options they offer you is not what I personally would say. So they can't do it right for me, then don't do it at all. In Oblivion you have these awkward conversations where they are like right in your face, and three different people who offered them the game their voices talk with you all the time. I mean, didn't I hear you before in this other city? Oh no, that was someone else. He looked different, but he had the same voice. And it doesn't give me anything. I don't like it. And honestly about this, I feel quite differently about you now. Do you know how less I care? I mean, I know that I'm a pretty smart guy. I just don't like NPC conversations in video games. Oh no, the horror. Seriously? I mean, what does it say about me? That I prefer strategic elements and mathematical elements in an RPG than talking all the time. I always said that if I want to read a lot, I would read a book. I'm playing a video game to be entertained and not reading. I'm reading all the day about programming techniques and patterns, design patterns and coding things and stuff like that. I don't need to read a lot when I'm playing a video game. I'm playing a video game to shut off from the day, chill out. One of the main reasons I'm not playing these modern RPGs because I can't engage that much time into them anymore. I'm working very long. Today it's Sunday, and at 1 p.m. I have to go to the office because we have a rollout today. I don't have the time anymore to play huge and long CRPGs, so I prefer to play the older ones. They were long too, but I didn't have to remember, in which conversation did I talk about this NPC again, and what were my decisions there in Dragon Age, because I don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, do you like everything? Do you like the opera? Do you like theater? Oh, you don't like the theater? That says a lot about you. Seriously, guys, I'm a guy who plays video games. Video games is not science. It's not a huge whatever. I mean, do you think differently about people who play black cards and Magic instead of blue cards because whatever? Silly people. Well, I think Skyrim has come back just a little to Morrowind sensibilities with the cooking and crafting and the procedural radiant story. Of all the companies, I think Bethesda is the one that would still like it to be 1990 with them doing the Morrowind style CRPGs. But gamers have changed, and games companies, rather than re-educate, have just placed these games, pandered to them rather than pushing them, which is what happened 20 years ago with games like Elite and XCOM. I didn't read too much into Skyrim, honestly. Again, hardware okay, because I don't really care for this game. I will most likely buy it when it's $20 or something, so in 2-3 years I will see the first reviews of the game, but so far I don't really care for it. I didn't really care for Oblivion when it came out. I bought it because it was cheap when I got my Xbox, and I was kinda interested in it because, like I said, I like Morrowind. But again, with the cooking and crafting, if I just cooked a cheesecake in real life. I don't need to do this in a video game. If I want to cook, I cook. I don't see this. I don't need this in a video game where I can, I put flour in there and then add milk to it and why? Of course, if it gives me a strength boost if I eat this, or if it makes me faster or whatever, then okay. It's an integral part of the game or something, like in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft you cook and you gain attribute boni. But like I said, if I want to cook, I cook myself. Yesterday I cooked chicken breast with cheese sauce and stuff and broccoli. I don't know. It's the same with this. Sure, it was a huge thing and back in the time with Ultima because the coding wasn't that refined and stuff like that, and people were like, "Oh, you can cook in Ultima." And I remember one. I think it was Ultima. For Ultima Online 2, an interview, and they asked them, "Can you bake bread in Ultima 2?" And the programmer said, "Oh, why should you? It's not. It doesn't." He said the same things I said, and Richard Garriott fired him because he said he didn't get what makes Ultima Ultima. And like I said, I never really played the Ultima series, and it was a huge thing back in the day, but I never played Eye of the Beholder and was like, "Oh, I wish I could cook a bread now because I think my characters are hungry now." It doesn't add anything for me. Crafting is another thing. It always depends how it's implemented. I like crafting in video games because usually with crafting we have something. We have a sword, a new sword, and stuff like that. But usually pisses me off if it's not well balanced. If I gather all these materials from all over the world and I forge this sword made of iron, fire, steel or whatever, and then I defeat the first enemy, the next enemy I see, and he drops a sword that's better, then I'm like, yeah, that was really awesome. I'm so glad I got a good sword. Then the problem is if I gather all these materials and have the best sword in the game, and then I fight dragons with it, and in the dragon treasure there's only junk I don't need anymore. It needs to be balanced. I prefer this. You can forge really good weapons, but if you fight huge and hard enemies, then you should get better rewards. And not just from collecting junk somewhere and putting it into an oven and voila, new sword. It's kind of the problem with World of Warcraft. You have all these huge and expensive materials, you forge together something, and in the next raid you get something that's better. Anyways. At Hardware UK, it depends on the game, but overall, like Elanarae said, I missed the freedom you have in MMORPGing and such. While CRPGs are good and awesome, they rely on how well the manuscript is written rather than actual player choice at the times. Like NVN1OC, for example. It has a certain number of ways to say things, no more, no less, thus giving the game a wicked feeling rather than say WoW RPG guilds that organize events and such which function much more fluently. Mr. Yatubo, that's what I said. That's exactly my opinion, because you don't have this freedom or something. I never had this like in a CRPG where I could just, I'm going to conquer this land now. I killed everyone inside and well, nothing happened because the game wasn't like, well, killed everyone, huh? Well, I guess you are now the leader of this country or something. You are only a small part in the script. And if I want to be like that, I read Lord of the Rings. Then I'm Frodo and I do Frodo-like stuff. What somebody told me to do. I never felt that, Lord of the Rings would be much more engaging if you could choose to be an evil Frodo who sometimes stabs Samwise Gamgee in the back or something. I don't know. I like my RPing with real people, not with bits and bytes. I don't think gamers people have always been stupid. I'm old enough to have been gaming back before the internet World Wide Web. Same like me. Back then it was just bulletin boards, etc. And people were pretty smart in the comments, whether old or young. And back in the 90s you would also find that gaming magazine were also more intelligent. The first thing my team nephew said on seeing a 1993 Computer Gaming World magazine was, "There's a lot of text and not many screenshots." Well, I agree with you in the second part. The first part, I think the problem, or not the problem, but the main thing is that, like you said, people in the past, there were so few people who actually had internet access or bulletin board access or whatever. And where did you get usually internet? In universities, at college and something like that. So only the smart people had access to the internet, or only people who worked in bigger companies and stuff, they had access to internet. It wasn't that, like you said, it wasn't that readily available. So nowadays everyone has internet, mostly everyone, 90% of the world, not of the world, but in the industrial countries have internet. And yeah, you do see a huge decrease in intelligence there. I guess these people in the past, they were playing soccer on the street or whatever instead of checking bulletin boards. I have to agree with the computer magazine thing. Usually text was much smaller. I have a few old I read some Amiga Joker. My uncle collected a few of them, and the text was a lot smaller and not this huge font anymore. Just it looks really huge, but there's nothing really written in it, and screenshots everywhere. Perhaps ink was a lot more expensive in the past. I don't know why. But yeah, usually there were more and interesting stuff in there. But since the problem is, which was kind of something you said earlier, a lot more people play video games nowadays, and a lot more, stupidity people. And I can understand video game companies, they want to make money. Of course they want to make money. That's the main reason they exist. In the past you could argue that some had more this I want to make good and interesting games, people like Richard Garriott or something, or Will White or whatever. I'm pretty sure when Will White wanted to created a Sims 1, he didn't want it to be this huge mass productive thing. He just wanted to make a life simulator. I'm pretty sure that was Will White's intention. But nowadays companies want to make money, a lot of money. They have to make a lot of money because for some reason they spend a lot of money to make video games and don't try to cheapen it a little bit. Like, how about we use this graphics engine in 2 games? Wow, how could you? We could lose 200 people who wouldn't buy this game because it looks like the old one. Stuff like that. So I mean that I guess that's the main reason why video games have a decline in complexity and whatever. You could argue, I mean, if you look at the old games, they had their flaws, and most were about I wouldn't say complexity, but they weren't that intuitive or something. I mean, if I play older games nowadays, if I remember them, that's okay. I got used to them. I know how they work, but I played Albion. Was it Albion? Hikoskia Let's Played it, Albion, and I was like, I never heard of this game. How about I try it out too? And it was horrible. The controls were horrible, and I didn't have a manual for this game. I didn't download it because I was like, oh, I'm a hardcore gamer. I don't need to read manuals. It was a mistake, honest mistake for me. But nowadays, I remember someone in a forum, a bulletin board, complaining that Dragon Age has too many numbers in them for him and he prefers more NPC conversations. I think I made a 2-hour rant about this. I never uploaded it, but too many numbers in Dragon Age. I had a feeling in Dragon Age numbers didn't really matter. I never felt like, oh, I have a new weapon now, I do more damage. No, it was like, yeah. And those are these people prefer these huge, long NPC conversations and talking with them and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, how dare you? Anyways, moving on. Question: will you LP Lords of the Realm 2, Sanitarium, or Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines in the future? Though VTMB does need a fan-made patch to be almost bug-free, and it might not run and record on your computer at the same time. Sanitarium is a crazy odd point-and-click mystery adventure game. Lords of the Realm 2 is a turn-based economy military strategy game where you control a barony and compete with other nobles for the crown. Demostheni Yuan. I played most of them. I had Sanitarium when it came out because it was one of these few adventure games that actually looked interesting in my opinion, and I beat it. The problem with Sanitarium, I don't think you can play it in a window, and I never bought Fraps so far. I haven't bought Fraps so far because as far as I know it takes a huge amount of power to make Fraps running and recording really full screen games. I kind of prefer my small 640 times 480 window, and that's why I'm as long as I don't get a new computer, I won't let play it. The same with Vampire the Masquerade. Lords of the Realm 2, I played Lords of the Realm 1. Very enjoyable game. Perhaps could be in the far future, but so far not. It wasn't planned. The beginning of an RPG needs more choice in quests. Kill bandits in a black alley while stealing pies from windows. The Baldur's Gate series tends to cheat in difficulty. That and the magic resistance RNG is so crazy bad. 5% MR blocks all my spells all the time. VTMB Haunted House is creepy as hell, man. One of the best side quests though. Level 1 army against Elanarae is go. Okay. The mic is fine. A software or sound card upgrade would increase quality as well, but it's costly. I'm not sure how much a new sound card costs. Again, Demostheni Yuan. But I will see. Perhaps I'll get a new sound card. So far I'm quite happy with the microphone. Not much to say there. I have to agree, RPG needs more choice in quests, so you can combine them, like you said. Go in a back alley and steal pies and kill people and collect something. MMORPGs usually does do that. So you go to one area and you have like 6 quests to do there, like gather some intelligence, kill the leader, kill X minions, and free some slaves or something. I never fooled around with the magic resistance RNG. Like I said, I don't think I ever beat Baldur's Gate when I was younger because I lost interest in it. But yeah, if you say that, that's mostly true. Carrying on. Oh look, 5% magic resist can't work, can it? It should 95% of the time. 1 hour later, why won't fireballs hit X3 and the VTMB haunted house is creepy? Choices like enslave the local populace and force them to kill the other village? That could be for example, a way to would spark my interest in modern RPGs again, because then it should be possible nowadays, something like that. But it is not. That's kind of pissing me off. You don't have this freedom. You can't just say. Then again, the problem with this is, I guess most people won't see it because it's AI related, and most people are like, "Oh, look at these pretty colors. Oh, it looks so awesome. Oh, it's so pretty, pretty, pretty." No. Next. Dark Sun is one of the more strange D&D settings. Never played them, but it sounds interesting. Giant dwarf paladin mage. Okay. What the fuck, barbecue first type people have always been around. Parents, as long as he's not out riding motorcycles through the local grocery store, he can do what he wants. That's my saying too. The ratio to women to men is not conducive to receiving panty shots from fans, lol. Who knows? Mage cast nuclear launch detected, 440 radiation damage. Witcher 2 is fun, a couple issues, but combat is fast and is hard. Demostine Yuan. Well, it sounds like a game I might be interested in, but I can't play it on my PC. They wanted to release it for the Xbox as far as I know, but my Xbox is fried, so I should get my tax repay soon and get a bit bonus from my overtime work in the last project. So perhaps I can actually get a new and better PC so I can play The Witcher. We will see. And last one, who doesn't show up on the screen, of course. I love it. Whoop. Oh yes, what you see up there, BitTorrent. I barely use BitTorrent anymore, so don't be like, "Oh my god, he uses BitTorrent, it's so illegal." Shut up. Can you please? Thank you. Just call me York, that's what everyone calls me. Isn't that White Sack? Your Gibbs. I love that game. Oh, I wish they would make more games like that. It was just an enjoyable game. Anyways, this was my microphone with lower voice settings. I would appreciate it if you could tell me if you preferred this or the one in the last Realms of Arcania episode. Because in the Realms of Arcania episode I had the plus 10 decibel setting, and now I have the normal setting, and this is the minus 10 decibel setting. So, Oh yes, and one thing again, as last mention for engaging storylines in RPGs, I really preferred Stone Prophet. For me, Stone Prophet had a very engaging storyline. It had this wet wet line going through it, and perhaps I misinterpreted it, or I explained it wrong. I don't mind NPC conversations per se, like asking a few questions, but the problem with nowadays RPGs is there is too much conversation in one NPC. In Stone Prophet you had NPC conversations too, and they were okay. You asked a little boy out or for something that's important. It was all story related. I didn't walk around and, "Hey, how are you doing? Oh, fine weather, what are the newest rumors? What can you tell me about these people?" List of 200 names and something. I don't know. NPC conversations have their place in RPGs, but it shouldn't be the main thing. And that's my feeling. They kinda aim at modern RPGs. I think I talked more in Dragon Age than I actually fought monsters, and that's not enjoyable for me, honestly. If I want a talking simulator, I would play a visual novel. Anyways, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see each other soon. So take care and Goodbye.